What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Cosmic University. Today, what we'll be going over is the textbook for the Cosmic University, which is the Book of Wisdom. You can also get that book by clicking the link in my profile on my Instagram at revitalize underscore. Go ahead, click the link. It'll be the Book of Wisdom physical copy, or you can go ahead and grab the PDF. It's a quick download. All right. So we're going to start with how you do not see into reality. Okay, we don't see into the external world. Light waves enter our retinas, and then the image that we see is produced in the visual cortex, which is located at the back end of your brain, of our brains. Okay, so this visual cortex is the primary cortical region of the brain that receives, integrates, and processes visual information relayed from the retinas. Okay, the ancient Kemetes, the Egyptians, had a deep understanding of the function your brain produces your reality. Okay, anything that's outside of you is basically what was just said is produced by your brain. Which, when I first learned that, my mind was blown. Okay, um, so this is why it is reflected in their sculptures, as shown here. You have the Egyptian sculpture. You have the brain here, and then the retinas. It's basically, excuse me, basically, the sigil of Lucifer also represents this as well. They like to do the truth in plain sight here. We're going to be talking about Freemasonic symbolism and teachings that involve certain symbolisms. It's the truth in plain sight. The visual cortex is at the back of your brain. Everything is connected, you know. So your reality is produced by your brain. Okay. There is no reality outside of you. Everything's inside. Okay. Remember, as within, so without. The sigil of Lucifer, Lucifer is basically the light bearer. Lucifer, Lucy in Latin means light. Okay. So the sigil of Lucifer is showing you the visual field of the eyes. Okay. So moving on, the electromagnetic spectrum. So we have ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, and then it goes down to infrared, excuse me, microwaves, and then radio waves. Um, the visual spectrum, everything is light. Okay, um, and you have the wavelength, and then the energy. Element, ment is the mind. L means God. Element, God, mind. Got it? Element, God, mind. Element. And then we have the mint, which is the mind. Government. Govern means to control. And then we have mint, which is the mind. Control the mind. Government. All right. So this is what you'll be learning here in the Cosmic University. Much, much deeper stuff as long as you're patron and an actual member. You can get in here for free and learn this stuff. But again, the stuff that you really need to learn, you have to, exchange value for. That's how this is going to work. The elements only exist within the mind. Humans are God made flesh. We are God in separate bodies. Okay. God is mind. All things exist in the universal mind. God is thinking all things into existence. Okay. Again, God is thinking all things into existence. Right. So this leads down to the Christ oil. When the moon enters your sun sign, your birth zodiac sign, in other words, psychophysical oil is released from the brain down the spine to the sacrum bone. The sacred fluid must be cared for and not destroyed by acidic foods, um, and liquids, no alcohol and stuff like that. Our sexual energy and the fluids must be retained if we wish to raise this psychophysical oil back to the brain, in other words, which is heaven, by opening our chakras, preserving our sexual energy, and maintaining the Christ oil. We can use this power behind the sexual energy, which is also called Kundalini, to raise it up from the base of the spine back to the crown chakra in the brain. Okay. So down from the base, back up to the crown chakra. All right. By awakening the seven chakras and raising the Kundalini to the crown chakra, new energy pathways open up within the brain, which feels like your head becomes hollow inside. The brain undergoes a remodeling process, expanding its capacity from roughly 10% of usage to the complete 100%. Imagine that. So dormant areas of the brain are unlocked, signaling new ways of brain functioning. Okay. So your brain is going to literally be functioning differently because a new program was, programmed into your software. All right. So, it's a new way of experiencing the world. The Kundalini over time becomes a self-sustaining energy circuit fueled by food and water that grows and gets stronger. Okay. So if you take a look at this chart here, you'll be able to take a look at when the moon enters your sun sign, your birth zodiac sign. All right. Again, we'll be teaching that in more depth um, down the line. And this is basically a free class for you guys. You guys can see here the claustrum, which is Santa Claus, right? That's basically, going down the chimney, um, you know, back up. That's what's basically being represented here in the Kundalini. So the oil process, which that's what leads us down to, the claustrum, Claus, Santa Claus, produces psychophysical fluid, which then goes to the pineal gland and pituitary gland. All right. The pineal gland electrically charges the fluid, okay, which is the male, Joseph. The pituitary gland magnetically charges the fluid, okay, then that's the female, Mary. Then the fluid will travel down the two nerves, the ida, the ida, okay, ida or ida, which is connected to the pituitary, and then the pingala, which is connected to the pineal gland. Okay, so then the oil rests for 2 to 3 days on the sacrum bone, which is your solar plexus. If the oil is saved and not destroyed, the oil will activate the Kundalini energy, which will turn the oil into a gas and rise back up the 33 vertebrae of the spine to the medulla oblongata. This will then pass to the pineal gland and then the cerebrum, which will rebirth or resurrect all brain cells, activate the pineal gland, and regenerate all the cells in the body. This process is symbolized as being born again. This is where the Christians get that from. Okay. So, this is all the Ida, the Pangala, this is the base, the Shushmana, everything is represented here in these symbols as well. This is the medical symbol that you see at EMSs and certain things like that. They represent that here. Two snakes, Kundalini. Okay. It's the Kundalini process. The Pangala, the Ida, it's very, very, you know, sacred, and this is occult teachings here that if you implement, you can literally transform your life. So how you can raise the oil, retain your sexual fluids. So I'm not saying not to have sex, but retention. We'll also be having conversations about that down the line, about you can, do tantric retention. Okay. Being on an alkaline diet, consuming only alkaline foods, not consuming any alcohol or acidic foods. Okay. So being in a calm state, meditation, Kundalini meditation, intention, balancing the chakras, keeping your tongue at the top of your mouth, in the back, right at that soft spot as you're meditating, breathing in, out with intent, and it has to be proper breathing. We'll be teaching proper breath work down the line as well. So hope you enjoyed this breakdown. This is a quick one, but it's definitely a lot of information here, which you can implement for yourself and see some changes here. Again, heaven, which is your head, you know, your head, heaven. But yeah, we'll go into more detail down the line. Again, you can get this book by clicking the link in my profile in my Instagram at Revitalize, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube at Revitalize Social Media, and we'll be able to stay connected and go over this information in more detail. Again, join the Cosmic University, become a member, and you'll have access to more insight like this. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.